Yay, this is still going. And Prince, what are you doing? Come on.
He's gazing in wonder at the crying fountain.
Alright. Anyway,
Parkour.
essentially now that we have all the we have opened all the fucking points of the door, we can go back to the throne room and finally maybe resolve this fucking mess.
You know, guys, I was playing Super Mario Odyssey earlier today.
Oh, you actually got yourself the game finally?
I got it for my birthday.
Awesome. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I do struggle a bit on the bosses, but
Really?
and also at times, well, not all the bosses. There was one in that water kingdom I was struggling with.
Oh, the giant squid thing.
Oh, you're already at the Water Kingdom. Nice.
It's the one where it squirts poison and you have to
Yeah.
What does that have to
yeah,
do with
to-
this?
I was just saying, can I please go back to playing that one?
Yeah, that's...
Well,
Oh wait, hang on. What am I saying? Is a handheld console? Of course I can.
Alright. Well, Dweebs, to be honest, there's that game also had the adventure of actually having boss battle. This series barely has any bosses at all.
Tio, question: Why? It looked like you were deliberately bringing into them saw blades.
Trust me, Dweebs, I wish I wasn't. I mean, I couldn't for the life of me actually doing this deliberately. It's just the game that cheaply programmed.
Remember, Dwibs, also the character motto itself is also sluggish, and also there's a bit of a delay to it.
And the hitboxes, god, the hitboxes.
Anyway, sorry, Dwibs, but there will be no jolly fun here. We're supposed to be brooding and tortured.
Yes, don't you see, Dweebs? You have to feel the pain inside your soul and everything.
Hell, from the looks of it, I'll probably have more fun with Sonic Forces if I get that for Christmas than I will this.
Oh, Dwibs, there's not
Well,
even
yeah,
any
you're getting-
comparison.
Well, I can at least say that this game definitely looks more boring than Sonic Forces.
Dweebs, which version are you getting, by the way? PS4?
PS4.
Okay.
Oh, music.
Because
That must mean
Yeah,
something.
again,
And it's
Jova,
not-
the sound
And
sound
it's not
design is
generic
so
Linkin
random.
Park.
Yeah, some of the ambient is relatively fine. The problem is it's so random, and due to the glitches, it just cutscene cuts out of nowhere. It's
And
just jarring.
And then suddenly the guitar comes in.
Pretty much, as soon as I will start combat, I think. Remember, it's tied to that.
What was the point of that rope if you could just run across without it?
No, essentially the ropes are extension of your running jump, running on the wall, essentially. The prince will swing you from one way to the other, and there you go. It makes extend the wall run.
It's
But
kind of
here's the
similar
weird
to
thing,
the
though. It's like,
wall
you were.
rubbing- sorry.
Here's the weird thing, though. It's like, Michael, you were running just fine the first time across, and you never even needed the rope. You just ran past it.
Maybe, well, yeah, it can be argued that sometimes the ropes are essentially useless in terms of placement, but I guess I had problems with the play testing, I don't know. Again, on paper, the mechanics that they updated are fine, nothing too bad to be worked with. The problem is that everything else about the game makes them neutered so much. It's so jarring, this contrast. There we go.
it also does it all, but it's not very exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think, yeah, by going... Yeah, there you go. For some reason, again, with the hitboxes and everything, I managed to catch the ladder even though I was clearly out of its way.
Well, I look at glitches like this. If it's to my benefit, I don't care.
Yeah, I guess. Remember also, due to the falling damage in this game, it's also a painful nightmare to, you know, to be constantly having to worry about, oh, how much, especially because much like in the previous game, the prince can potentially die if it dies for like 5 feet. It's not Daventry level of, fragility, but it's close.
I wish this game had deaths like King's Quest.
Now,
Dweebs, that would imply that there is some kind of jolliness and a sense of humor. This game has none.
now
Maybe
see,
not.
No
Maybe
time
not-
for
maybe-
humor. Be
maybe
prudent,
not.
Dwibs.
There's
Be
no
pudding.
comedy. Go ahead, Jova.
I was about to say, a weird thing is that earlier you were actually climbing the vegetation, which is
Yeah,
weird.
again,
because...
it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
Maybe not King's Quest 7's deaths though. Those are just boring.
We really needed that camera angle transition.
unfortunately, King's a mix up for that with a lot of other witty stuff like the Mockingbird.
Alright.
How
Oh,
sad that
great, the Haka is here for some reason.
one of the better characters in the game was
Wait.
a frigging bird.
The mysterious figure from before.
I don't have time for this.
Is this a crossover episode? Oh, and he's dead. Okay, thanks. Bye.
What's the point of that then?
What was that about?
And the Dahaka
Face.
ran away?
Apparently.
Wait.
This villain kind of sucks.
Or it's more like it's out of nowhere.
So
Like,
the mysterious guy who's been leading us on suddenly gets killed before we can learn who he is, and the main
Or
villain who's
even
been
talk
chasing
to
us
him.
after us, just
Yeah.
runs away from us.
it's random.
Maybe this is the past version of those two?
But that drama, that wibbly wobbly timey wimey logic has no place here.
Whatever. Crawling.
Maybe the reason the Dahaka... Maybe the...
Why do you keep walking into the blade?
Dweebs, I'm trying to dodging. Again, the hitbox is just a painful nightmare.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know how to dodge the blade. Run into it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be brooding and tortured to it, so don't disturb my ritual. Come on.
Do you even know the
Go
pain
see a
that this is causing?
psychiatrist.
There we go. Almost at the throne room, and we should be able to go.
This is very similar to the time break in Secret Rings.
Yeah.
Speed break.
Actually, that's not the time break. Yeah. Well, again, it's taken from. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a reference also to this.
Well, yeah, considering the Arabian setting, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember specifically in the Arabian Night book something involving time, but I don't remember all of it.
The sands of time.
Hello there. you come
Where did you come from?
Don't you just love these?
Alright,
random
time to
animations?
confront the Empress, but before doing that, the prince is gonna, reason with it. What are you doing after this?
Of course, Final Fantasy X's characters move better.
Say,
than
yeah,
this.
might as well get to Babylon, have some, laid and shit.
I'm sorry, Prince, but I cannot take you up on your offer.
For what reasons?
Let me guess, she's tied to the... Let me guess, it turns out she actually is...
That face! Jesus God! Well, don't worry, Jova, we're about to find out who the Empress is.
I was about to say, maybe she actually is the Empress in disguise, and that's why she won't be able to take him up on his offer.
Jova, that would be entirely stupid. Why would you be thinking that the game will do something like that? Oh, wait.
Oh, wow, I called it literally seconds before it happened.
Not just that. Well, that's the thing, Jova. This plot twist is completely retarded in every conceivable way.
So what, she just wanted him here so she could trap him?
Pretty much. I mean, she could have killed us at any time.
Wasn't there a time when she actually saved us from death, too?
Yeah, but no, she waits and wants to do these little game shit with her. Like, I don't get it. No.
So does that make her a bad guy?
Technically, because we need to kill her. Essentially, the idea is that she saw her destiny in the sense of time, in the sense that she knows that the prince wants to kill her, and she wants to defy that fate. So, boss time. And she's a bitch, because due to the dual wielding that she has, she does all this weird combo shit, and it's almost impossible to land consistent hits on her.
So the prince wants to kill her because she's tied to the sands of time?
Essentially, Jova, since we're in the past, killing her will mean that the sense of time will never be formed, hence the events of the first game will never happen, and the Haka will have no reason to chase after the prince.
Why doesn't he just ask her to call off the Dahaka?
Not just that, Jova. Actually, my point was someone else. Why don't we just fucking talk and the prince says, hey, maybe you should not make the sense of time at all.
Yeah, I
He
mean...
didn't even pass through his fucking mind. But no, because we can't talk for shit, we need to have this pointless conflict. And trust me, Jova, we're only halfway through the game. We need to wait another half of this entirely regarded as on this loophole, supposedly.
Speaking of which, wasn't that pirate queen trying to kill us on the Empress's behalf? Remember how she was the one attacking Kaileena?
Give me a second.
Right, crawling in my skin.
Essentially, Jova, to answer your question, yeah, the pirates was trying to kill Kaileena, but we'll learn actually later on through like a flashback or something why she wanted to do such a thing.
Let me guess. The pirate Captain Queen finally managed to break free of Kaileena's influence or control, and she felt betrayed, and that's why she tried to kill her.
Why do you bother?
Yeah, look at this amazing combat going on, guys.
Okay, so you're gonna fight us now?
It's not. This combat is not amazing. It's torturing my soul.
You know,
Right, guys.
Making me feel dead inside.
Tio's told us to discuss the twist. Well, I must say, it's a very interesting dance move. It requires a lot of dexterity. Oh, you're on about the plot twist.
okay, so it turns out that...
Okay, here's my discussion of the plot twist. Nor don't care. Go ahead, Joe, but discuss the plot twist.
So let me get this straight. This all-powerful Empress has been our quote-unquote guide this whole time.
I hoped Shadi would keep you from the island, or the towers would finish you off.
Well, he's kind of a dipshit, so no.
And yet you did not die!
Well, you saved his life at some point, so of course he didn't die.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that too. Like,
I've already told you. I have foreseen my future. To die, Joe.
Well, this is kind of a self-fulfilled prophecy when you think about it, considering how dumb you're acting.
yeah. How about this? You could have tried to become his friend and ally.
Yeah, in fact,
Yeah, you have to fight him because...
not to mention, you never had to reveal you were the Empress. Like, seriously, for all he knew, you had just trapped each other in there.
This is so stupid.
Like, wow, it's like they weren't even trying. It's like they just thought, guys, this is gonna be such an amazing twist that no one's gonna be asking questions.
Alright, almost done, thankfully.
Tail, why
There-
is it so stupid?
You're asking that now, Pedro.
Ugh.
Also, girl. If you have control over the Dahaka, why don't you summon the freaking Dahaka?
She doesn't have at the moment because she still needs to form the sands.
You know what? Never mind. You know
Wait,
what? I
wait,
don't
wait,
care.
wait,
I don't
wait.
care for this twist. Can we get back to brooding?
Hold on. So let me get this straight. Somehow she's formulated a plan that after she creates the Sands of Time, she'll then set the Dahaka on him because she says during a cutscene that she had hoped that the Dahaka would kill him, because if she hasn't made the Dahaka yet with the Sands of Time...
she also, you remember, Jova, she also said that she cursed one of the swords that she gave to us, but remember, the swords, none of the swords actually has any kind of curse at all. Actually, they were more powerful in that regard, so she probably pulled that thing out of her ass.
Furthermore, here's a problem. Okay, so she foresaw herself being killed. Well, doesn't that mean then that she won't be able to make the Dahaka if she actually ends up being killed, considering how time works?
I don't know, Jova. Let's just kill her.
No harm, Kaileena.
I mean you no harm, never mind the fact I've been slicing you up with my sword.
Yeah, again, it's so inconsistent. Oh no, she's dead.
No matter what you
Monica, what are you doing?
So
in
you're
your
telling?
life?
So let
No,
me get this straight. The prediction became true because I was such a dipshit. Brilliant.
Pretty much.
So the Empress is dead.
Why are
Nothing
you-
personal, mate.
wh-
And for some reason, the prince broke his sword with that.
And she explodes?
Yeah, remember, she's made of sand or some shit.
This is not Metal Gear.
Oh, it's not even Pan.
Oh no, everything is gonna collapse because we defeated the boss.
Really?
I must return to the present.
And he's gonna do
wow.
it. So now we're back in the present, so the prince now has to leave the island, essentially.
Let me guess. Now the
I know you didn't see any time travel effect, but just take our word for it. We're in the present right now.
I have defeated the Dahaka and fate itself.
the Dahaka's gonna pop up behind him, isn't it?
So, game over?
It's time to find a way off this rock.
No,
oh
Jesus.
my
Get
god.
off.
It's the ride never ends.
Tail, I think the graphics are glitching up. I don't...
So yeah, that's a problem. The Dahaka for some reason is still alive.
I swear.
Oh,
there-
there you go. He actually grabs him, but instead of absorbing him, he just tosses it away.
Nemesis! No, seriously.
Stars.
I
There you go, Pedro. You wanted broody music, there you have it. So essentially now the prince is
Yay.
stuck with a sword that's broken and has jack shit for damage and has to be chastened down by the Raka constantly, at least for a while, because we are now in one of the most ruined parts of the island. So essentially now we're in deep shit. There you go.
So
Now
only-
there's an actually important cutscene in the game. For some reason, the Raka doesn't manage to enter the room.
Also, why didn't the Dahaka do this tentacle move before, unless somehow changing the future made him even more powerful?
Again, Drova, that's the problem. He's so inconsistent because he manages to did it some in some of the cutscenes, but in other he just doesn't. This plot is so contrived. It's so painful.
Goodness. I mean, wow, this is like the kind of stupidity that waits until you're least suspecting and then leaps out and grabs you. It's like, you know,
Alright, here's where the game changes pace, pretty much. Well,
for
not
better or for
gameplay-wise,
worse.
it remains the same, but now the objective will be completely different.
So would you say Ghost or...
So,
Oh, go on.
there you go. You wanted brooding. Sorry, Jova. You want the brooding, Pedro. Now the prince is gonna be super emo and actually wish his death.
Yay!
The architect of my own destiny.
Yay!
Oh, I wanna
Brilliant.
cut myself tonight. Complete with sad violin.
Welcome,
Wow.
welcome
This
to Death
pain
Wish.
persists.
I
I
can't
can't
resist
resist.
it.
Welcome to Prince of Persia Death Wish.
Cannot be changed.
Oh,
Dude,
my
don't
God.
start listening to My Chemical Romance. Yeah, the Daka cannot pass a metal grade.
Was this a weakness that the Dahaka had before, or was this also because of the time change?
Drova, is the thing. The more we see the Daka, the more stupid it seems as a chaser monster.
Oh, come on, Prince.
Oh, and now for some reason he finds completely out of nowhere, he finds an inscription that's gonna save his fucking life. Watch.
The Castle of...
There you go. It illuminates it for no reason at all, and it reveals the story since it's a present of when the Maharaja came to the island and took the hourglass.
So apparently the prince ended up creating the Sands of Time.
Power of the sands of time.
So the Sands of Time were actually well guarded by the resident enemy, but the Maharaja's servants actually found something else on the island, something to help them.
Are these the
Something
Navajo
called-
spirits from Beyond Two Souls?
Something called the Mask of the Wraith,
To travel back through time
which
and
apparently
change my fate.
allows the user to actually travel in their body, effectively back in time on their own, and according to their own time, and change their events.
So basically, okay, here's what I'm wondering. Earlier there was a line where he said that, you know, in trying to destroy the Sands of Time, he ended up creating them. How does that work?
I have no idea, Jova. Seriously.
They never explain.
I don't know. I don't understand why killing Kaileena actually formed anyway the Sands of Time, honestly.
So does this mean
I-
that... So basically
Go ahead.
he has to undo killing Kaileena?
Essentially, yeah. His only objective will be find the Mask of Wraith, if it exists or and if it works, wear it, and with that, traveling on its own back in time without using the portals, and essentially reliving the events from another perspective and trying to prevent his past self to kill Kaileena. So again, much like we mentioned off screen, it's pretty much the story of Flashpoint.
Oh, God. Okay, now here's my question, though. Why is this his goal? Because let's think about this. His goal in the first place was to kill Kaileena so that he'd have the Dahaka off his back. If he saves Kaileena, the Dahaka's probably still going to be on his back. In fact, from all we've seen, it's just that nothing's changed. Not that things have
Well,
gotten...
Job, I'm guessing that at this point he has nothing more to lose, so he's trying to grasp anything that comes by.
But that's the
Also-
thing, though. It's like, well, I mean, the problem is like, well, nothing's really gotten worse. I mean, yeah, he's more prudent than before, but the situation hasn't really changed for the worse that much to really warrant him wanting to change things back. Like, you know, normally in a time-traveling story, something becomes worse because of what the protagonist did, and that's what urges them to undo their actions. Here, though, the Dahaka's still after him. Nothing has really changed as far as we know.
Not really, no.
Well, Jova,
Oh,
you'll see
goody.
for yourself what happens.
He's still weak to water.
Yeah, and activating those level and activating those level activates the waterfall. Then we need to actually jump on those platforms that you see there and pull the stone, all the Liskevets on them. There you go. This will lower them and in turn actually raise the central platform, the tomb in the middle. By raising it enough, we'll be able to create a way out.
Let me guess. This is gonna also make it possible for the Dahaka to chase us again somehow.
Pretty much, we can, Jova, we need to have our set pieces, don't you know? Also, another very stupid thing, the opening that where we just ran through is still open. The Dahaka could technically just come that way and actually go here and kill us, but no, he's just gonna politely wait when we reach a certain point and then trying to chase us again.
You know, for comparison's sake, Nemesis was the zombie who said screw that to doors being able to stop zombies, so that actually caught people by surprise. Yet this is the supposed superpowered mook who will wait politely against things that other mooks wouldn't wait politely against. It's like he's an anti-Nemesis in terms of awesome factor.
Also, you're not seeing a lot of death in this scenario because some of these J secrets are some of the worst in the entire game because the jump, between the camera angle and the jump physics, this jump in particular is very nasty because it will catapult you all the way to the other side instead of where you're supposed to go. Down, down.
Oh come on, Prince, cheer up. Don't you know? You haven't lost a thing. The light of hope is always in your heart.
But Pedro, that's the problem. There's little to no lighting here, like seriously.
Yeah, there's no lighting at all right now, actually.
Oh my god, the Dahaka was just looking at us like, dude.
Again, he's very polite, don't you see?
I mean, I'll give Rise of Lyric one credit. At least the lighting engine only failed once.
So, Dwibs, aren't you so intimidated by this Dahaka?
No, Jova, sorry. We're too busy brooding to be excited.
Guys.
Yes,
Yes,
Dwibs.
Dwibs?
What exactly has been the scale of brooding to action in this thing?
One razor sharp thing. Oh,
But don't you see, Dwibs? But don't you see, the brooding is where the emotional depth comes from.
China the Head told a more emotional story than this.
Why
And
is,
then that at least had some fun in the gameplay department.
why is the music still playing?
No idea, Jova.
Because
Oh, and now it stopped.
we're on the edge, Jova. Huh?
There you go, one more of these pings and we should be off. By the way, there's no checkpoint in this sequence, so if you die in this occasion, you have to restart from the beginning of the first chase.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
In case you didn't check yourself, to the vocal album of Sonic Forces is literally called "On the Edge."
Wait, it
Really?
is? I thought it was
Yes.
The Hero Will
Yes.
Rise.
No. The Hero Rise is the official soundtrack. The vocal tracks is called "On the Edge."
Oh, yeah,
The one
that's right.
you know, this is the which is kind of stupid because all of the tracks in the vocal tracks are all on the 3-disc soundtrack. So I don't see the purpose for a vocal tracks. At least the vocal tracks in 06 actually had extra tracks that weren't in the original track. No instrumentals, no covers. Lame.
Yeah. Okay, so,
Only one chase remaining. I was just checking in the area if there was something else because another thing I mentioned, I was gonna show it only later though. In this particular area, you can actually get one of the quote-unquote Easter egg weapons that I mentioned before, particularly Rayman's glove. However, it's a bit later on, and I'm not gonna get it immediately, but I'm gonna showcase it before the end. So yeah, remember when Ubisoft was still remembering Rayman? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Where did he came from?
So he literally just waits until we go down a corridor. Before
Yeah,
chasing
again,
us.
this is so stupid. And remember, Jova, there are people who currently actually actively praise this game's story and everything.
My guess is that
no.
those are the people who thought that games needed to be super serious in order to be taken seriously.
I guess, but I don't know, Jova. To be fair, I mean, again, I respected the gameplay department changes because the combat is
Oh,
some
and
of the
that was that
acrobatics
chase
is better.
already.
Yeah, it's actually the shortest. There you go. Now it's straight enough. But everything else about the game just plain sucks.
Yeah.
There's barely little anything to be savage with. These platforms. We need to get to the top of the tomb.
Of
There you
course,
go.
we needed a cutscene to show us to get to the top, even though we kind of already had that idea. Thanks, Gabe.
You see, Jova, the game thinks people are stupid enough to. There we go.
So I guess the Tahaka's still just gonna chill.
Politely wait, yes. Again, he could reach us at any moment in this very room, but the brain is too stupid to leave.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
We're going through the water veil,
Yeah.
back
Because
through
it's
where the
not-
Tahaka is waiting for us.
Actually, no. Remember, Jova, this is a new path where we're supposed to go.
Oh,
Now, I was just checking because you see there's another metal bar in the area, so I was thinking, oh, maybe there's another Easter egg tied to this, but apparently not.
it looks so much like the way we
And
came
there you
out.
go. The waterfall sound just glitched out.
Brilliant.
Why does it sound like we're walking?
The principal's pity patting his way from to the bar.
That's
Oh, now it's
not the proper sound for that.
bye. There you go. The dark is not actually gonna give us a problem anymore for a bit.
Seriously?
Teo, why exactly am I supposed to be intimidated by this thing?
Because it's black and has the sepia effect. Ooh.
Like, seriously, that thing literally just threw a temper tantrum and
Here's
flied
the
off.
problem. Now the game becomes even more of a slog, as kind of before, because now you're stuck with having to fight these mooks with this weapon that barely does any damage at all. Remember, the Lion Sword was broken during the fight with Kaileena, so essentially now the Prince does jack squat for damage to the enemies. Your best bet is to actually kick them down on a ledge. Oh!
I find this villain really lame when Chuck Jones even managed to make Porky Pig carry one of his shorts.
I know, right?
Which one? I remember one where Daffy Duck becomes...
The
Awful orphan.
Awful orphan.
Yeah.
Mel Blanc is at the top of his game in that short. I'll show you after this, because trust me, it's
Sure.
amazing. The evil laugh that Porky gives, it's Jesus Christ.
Heck, I was even more intimidated by the goofiest pissed off scene in a Goofy movie. Like, Bill Farmer and Mel Blanc both
Oh
are.
my God.
What the?
Finally. Yeah, the glitches in this
And
game.
you can't even
man.
pick up his. Oh, you can.
Yeah,
Let's
the secondary weapons are still pickable, and at this very moment where your best bet.
Hey,
So-
Teo, I'm picturing now a new Prince of Persia reboot with Danger Kids doing the theme song.
Well, if there's one thing that I can give credit to the reboot is that they went as far away from the edge as possible. It's not complete. It's not a kiddie light-hearted story at all. But it's not. It's nowhere near as brooding as this.
That ending though.
Yeah, Joe. And also the DLC segment. It's really stupid. So yeah, you're gonna find me defending that.
Also, the thing about the reboot is that it kind of trivializes death in the wrong
Yeah,
way.
don't worry, Drove. I want to give it as a surprise when we'll actually get to the game. But
All right.
I'll only give you this. If you the developers at Ubisoft took in very consideration the fact that these games were not exactly easy.
So those guys were literally just standing there.
They were probably chilling out, like, just, what are you doing all the day, even?
Actually, yeah, come to think of it, isn't the Empress the one who gave these guys life anyway?
Yeah, because they're technically these sand creatures. They're not the sand zombies of the first game, they're actual servants of the Empress. And again, that raises the question, what are they still doing in the present?
I'm still looking forward to a stupid explanation unless there's no explanation at all.
I honestly don't remember an explanation. But, the princess found something to look at.
Let me
We're back in the
guess.
prison area, and there's a new sword. How convenient. So essentially now we need to reach that sword that's down there. Alright. And no, unfortunately, there's no stealth in this game, so we cannot stealth our way through these enemies. Oh, great! Even the assassins now.
Wait. What the heck? Who the heck's that woman?
It's one of the assassin enemies.
Haven't
it's one
seen
of the
those in a
palace
while.
Yeah, because one of the variants were the invisible ones. So essentially, you pass from the normal enemy type to the invisible one to the palette swap one.
So it was the palette swap
Bye.
that showed up first. And they can't follow
Technically.
us. That's right, agile ninjas are known for not being able to cross narrow
That's
pathways.
weird, Jova, because if you remember, there are also the combats, some ninjas that actually try to fight us. There you go, like this one.
So why couldn't that other one follow us?
I have no idea. Again, this game is glitchy as fuck. Come on, please, come on.
So how do you pick which weapon you use out of the two?
On the ledges, the prince can only use this standard weapon. The secondary weapon is only used in normal combat, and it's set to the triangle button.
Oh, how
And the normal
nice.
sword is on the square button. The problem is, again, best option for you is to use them up for a bit when you're seeing that they're going to be just throw at the enemy and then they even get decapitated or it's stuck in their chest.
Of course.
Because, you know, it's gory and shit and it makes the edgy kids happy.
You know, Assassin's Creed is all about killing, and yet even that game doesn't go so all out with, you know, the bloody
Well,
Odessa.
to be fair, Jova,
Name of.
Jova, in that game, stealth is all you need. It's all the game is. So obviously the killings have to be discreet in that regard.
Oh, I get that. What I'm saying is, like, well, even with as discreet the killings are in that series, it still doesn't feel like it's compensating for something like this game does.
Alright, time for a new wait, that sepia filter is no good. Prince, grab the sword, grab the
Why didn't you grab the sword?
This plot is so contrived!
Like, what?
I seriously can't. Like, I should go at Ubisoft and now it's dead. But
Wait,
you
is
can
he?
reverse.
Wait, what the?
If it reaches you, it uses the grab attack to kill you, but you can reverse that using the time mechanic. But still, I really should go to Ubisoft and write shitty screenplay for them. Like, Dweebs, you're all about writing in movies and screenplay. Tell me that there's something that the worst in Hollywood has managed to do better than this.
There you go.
Could you repeat it?
The story, Dweebs, the story is contrived and shitty. Can you tell me that if one of your terrible, you know, screenwriter like Skip Woods has managed to do something better than this in their life?
We're talking about Skip Woods' code word is contrived.
Oh,
Sorry, Teo, but
Well, okay, Skip Woods,
there's no place for the living.
Skip Woods
God,
actually
God.
has written a better plot than this.
Which one specifically?
His first Hitman Agent 47 film.
Oh,
I mean,
the movie? I haven't seen it.
the first Hitman one. He actually wrote 2 Hitman movies.
I hated it so honestly.
Now here's the
Both suck.
Now here's the thing that's weird. The second movie was supposed to be a reboot because, you know, the first wasn't received so hotly. So you'd think that, you know, they change things up like most reboots do, but nope, they got the same writer.
Really? Alright, so we're now back in the past, but remember, this is after Kaileena died.
And the Dahaka can apparently... Wait, hold on, wait. This is after Kaileena died in the past?
Yeah, remember, Jova, while we're traveling from the present to the past, we're still in the prince's own time. Think about this timeline as with the prince at its center. The prince now is experiencing the past where he already has been there and killed Kaileena. He's progressing from the determined point from the past. Using the Mask of Wraith, he will reset to that condition, ideally.
But if he's at a point where he's already killed Kaileena, how is he gonna undo killing Kaileena?
We'll see, Jova. Starting from the next part.
Like, seriously, though, the plot could have easily been solved if he was able to go to time before he killed Kaileena and tell his past self, yeah, killing Kaileena is gonna do jack squat.
We'll see.
Unless
Jova.
they have
To the next
another goal hidden behind that one.
Alright, see you for the next part.
see ya.
Yeah.
See ya.